Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Today we're going to be doing Surah Baqarah, which means the cows. So there's this ayah in Surah Baqarah that says, ذَلِكَ الْكِتَابُ لَا رَيْبَ فِيهِ هُدًى لِلْمُتَّقِينَ. And it's a guide for those who are mindful of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. This means that this is a book, and there's no doubt about that. And that book is those who are mindful of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And that ayah is Surah number 2. Surah number 2, ayah number 2. What is Surah Baqarah? Surah Baqarah is the longest surah in the Quran and has the longest ayah, which is approximately a page. And it was revealed after the migration of Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam to Medina. It addresses a wide range of spiritual and practical issues, including faith, law, morality, guidance for the personal conduct, and social regulations. Surah Baqarah also provides comprehensive guidance for the Muslim community, covering aspects of faith, worship, law, ethics, and personal conduct. It addresses both spiritual and practical issues, calling for a strong commitment to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and His commandments. Things are in Surah Baqarah are believers, disbelievers, and hypocrites, story of Bani Israel, shifting of Qibla, faith, obedience, and economic laws, a sense of guidance, and the ultimate prayer. Now, the Prophet said, whoever recites the last two verses of Surah Baqarah at night, they will suffice for him. And that's in Sahih Bukhari. And the Prophet also said, do not turn your houses into graves. Indeed, Shaitan flees from the house where Surah Baqarah is recited. That's saying that Shaitan goes away from the house where Surah Baqarah is recited. Also, do not turn your houses into graves. That means whoever does not recite Surah Baqarah in the house, their house is committed as graves. Okay? So, the ultimate prayer. Surah Al Baqarah concludes with a powerful prayer. O Lord, do not burden us beyond our ability. This verse encapsulates a sense of faith, trust in Allah, seeking His guidance and relying on His mercy. Shifting on the Qibla. Now, shifting on the Qibla is saying that first the Qibla used to be Masjid al-Aqsa, then they changed it to the Kaaba. So, it was the change of the Qibla from Jerusalem to the Kaaba, because the Prophet wished for it, that the Qibla could turn into the Kaaba. That's all I can say for this one. Next, we're going to go to believers, disbelievers, and hypocrites. Surah Baqarah begins with the mysterious letters Alif Lam Mim, emphasizing that the Quran is divine guidance for the writers. The reason why I said mysterious is that because some stories that they have mysterious letters in it, like from the beginning, because it starts with Alif Lam Mim, we actually don't know the meaning to that. Surah Maryam, Surah Yasin. Okay, so there's a few, Surah Luqman, Surah Taha. And this chapter also warns about the consequences of the highlights of importance of faith. This section also mentions the creation of Adam alayhi salam, his evolution above the angels, and his death establishing the theme of obedience and free will. Next is the story of Bani Israel. This section highlights the history of Bani Israel, which means the children of Israel in English. The blessing and the repeated defiance on Allah's commandments. It recounts how they were rescued from Pharaoh's tyranny and given divine laws through Musa alayhi salam, yet frequently disobeyed. And now that's all we have for today. But I want to mention two things that we have here. Divorce means that when the mother and the father split up, and this really, it doesn't only affect the mother and the father, it affects the children as well. If they have children, it really affects them. But it doesn't only affect the children as well. It also affects the whole family. You should never lie, because lying makes a person's life miserable. Trials and tests. Everyone in this world faces tests. You should always be grateful to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Be grateful for your things you have, mostly your mom. You should be grateful for your house. You should be grateful they have money, for your food, or you really be able to live. So they should always be grateful. You should never tell a lie, and everyone will face challenges in this world. Last but not least, have action steps. Make a habit of learning and reflecting on the meanings of the Quran, especially Surah Al Baqarah. So you should learn how to read Surah Al Baqarah, but you shouldn't only learn it, you should act upon it as well. That Surah Al Baqarah is the longest surah in the Quran, and it was revealed in Medina. It was in just one. It has three groups: disbelievers, believers, and hypocrites. Hypocrites are people who are pretending to be like a Muslim, but they're not. Like Abdullah bin Ubay, he pretended to be. But normally you don't know any of the hypocrites, but you only know him because he pretended to be a good man, but actually he said to someone that, I don't like Aisha radiallahu anha, he's so rude, and so he started backbiting about Aisha radiallahu anha. So that's how we know he's a hypocrite. And this is the end of our lesson. Assalamu alaikum.